Hey there, friends. Welcome back. Today we're stepping into a world where timeless elegance meets modern spirit. We're talking vintage glam, the kind of style that makes you feel like you're walking down a Hollywood red carpet, even if you're just grabbing espresso. And stick with me. We're also exploring why Gen Z is leading a massive revival of this classic look in fashion and in home design. There's something irresistible about old world glamour. The lush fabrics, the bold geometry, the opulent touches that whisper luxury yet feel wonderfully personal. This aesthetic, born in the 1920s through the mid 20th century, was shaped by Art Deco, artistry, and the dazzling icons of Hollywood's golden age, like Greta Garbo and Marilyn Monroe, legends of elegance and attitude. But here's the twist. This isn't just a nostalgic throwback anymore. A whole new generation is reimagining vintage style, not just for nostalgia's sake, but because it resonates with their values, their creativity, and their identity. Let's explore why vintage glam is thriving in 2026 and why young people everywhere are embracing it with fresh passion. Vintage glam isn't just decoration, it's storytelling. Think lush velvet, mirrored accents, metallic finishes, and statement lighting that transforms everyday spaces into something memorable. Interiors influenced by the Hollywood Regency era brought theater into the home. Bold color, luxurious materials, and flair that made every room feel alive. In fashion, that same opulence translated to gowns encrusted with beads and sequins that catch the light, and silhouettes that spoke confidence. Vintage pieces weren't just garments, they were personality, presence, poise. And today, designers and decorators alike are blending those signature elements with modern comforts for a look that feels both timeless and totally contemporary. But wait, here's the cultural twist. Why is a generation born long after the golden age so obsessed with these old school vibes? For Gen Z, vintage isn't a fad. It's a movement, one rooted in sustainability, individuality, and authenticity. Secondhand fashion and decor aren't just affordable, they're meaningful. By choosing vintage or thrifted pieces, young consumers are bucking fast fashion and disposable design in favor of unique items with history and soul. In fact, recent data shows that nearly 30% of Gen Z thrift weekly, driven not just because of savings, but by the thrill of discovery. It's the hunt, y'all. The story behind the piece and the echo impact of reusing instead of buying new. Gen Z is also rewriting what style means. Vintage isn't outdated, it's expressive. Thrifted isn't old, it's unique. Pre-loved isn't used, it's curated by you and for you. And this trend shows up everywhere, from closets filled with Y2K jackets to living rooms where grandma's heirloom mirror sits proudly beside modern art. So how do you tap into this vintage glam revival? For your space, you want to layer textures, velvet cushions, lacquered frames, patterned rugs. Mix old and new. A vintage chandelier with sleek contemporary furniture keeps things fresh. Hunt for character. Thrift shops and flea markets are treasure troves. For your wardrobe, embrace one-of-a-kind pieces. They tell a story only you can tell. Stack textures in eras. A 50s dress and 90s boots feels intentional and bold. Because modern vintage isn't about copying the past. It's about interpreting it for today. Its heart, vintage glam reminds us that style isn't about trends. It's about value, meaning, creativity, and legacy. And maybe that's why a generation raised on screens and sounds is turning back to the tangible, the storied, and the soulful. So whether you're redesigning a room or refreshing your closet, let a little vintage glamour inspire you. Because when the past is beautiful, it is impossible to ignore. Drop a comment below and tell me, what vintage piece are you dying to bring into your space or into your wardrobe? And don't forget to like and subscribe for more design and lifestyle inspiration. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.